Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday webinar today. It is September 23rd, and we are very excited to talk to you today about how to use QuantumListing to get leads. So I am going to just dive right in with our agenda and get started. So we are going to briefly talk about just what QuantumListing is for those who don't know. Today's focus is on 9 different ways to get leads, although I would say there's probably a lot more than 9. These are kind of the major 9. And after we give an overview of those tools, we'll spend the majority of the time live on the site so that you guys can see firsthand how to use our website to increase your listing exposure and as a result get more leads. And we will always have time for questions throughout the web meeting, but you are always welcome to type in the chat, and we'll have a designated time at the very end for questions and also for you guys to jot down our support and contact information. So for those of you who don't know, so QuantumListing is a commercial real estate listing site. We try to make sure everyone is aware of the fact that we are a very low-cost service. And by low cost, I mean $89 a year for unlimited listings. That's $89.99. So I don't want to say that I wasn't being fully honest. There is 99 cents there too. So we'll call it 90, but per year, and that's unlimited. So there's no, buy a extra package and you'll get more listings upfront. It's always the same price. So QuantumListing gives your listings maximum exposure by offering a range of features so that you can market your properties without breaking your budget. You can post an unlimited number of listings and market them throughout all forms of popular social media. And an important point that we'll touch upon today is that there is no paywall for potential buyers and tenants to view your properties on our site. So not only is there no paywall, there's actually no registration wall either. So this is really big for leads because you actually can have your listing on our site and someone could give you a call without even registering for a QuantumListing profile. We do not block your contact information because we want you to have a good experience, but we also want the people searching for listings to have a good experience. So that means that we want it to be as easy as possible for them to get into contact with you and let you know that they're interested in your property. So without further ado, let's check out these tools. So the first tip is, it might sound a little funny, but the reason that we put this here is because you cannot get a lead if you don't have a listing on our site. And you cannot get a listing on our site unless you create a profile. So we will show you how to create a profile. It's very, very easy. And if you're only going to be searching for real estate, you can join as a basic member. But if you're going to be adding listings, you're going to want to be a individual or an enterprise member so that you can get your subscription started. You do get the first 30 days free before you get charged that $89.99 per year. So that is very important. And we will, not only will we show you how to join, I will send you an invitation before the end of this webinar that you can actually just click a link and sign up without even having to go to the sign up page if you don't want to. We'll also put the link in the chat. So there's really no, there's endless ways to sign up. So another thing that is important for getting leads other than having the listings on our site is to have good images. We have a lot of listings that syndicate from our syndication partners being, I'm not gonna start to name them for risk of leaving one out, but we have lots of syndication partners, and oftentimes the images don't come through from the syndication site because they have to, check a box giving the rights to the images. Other times we have images on our site that or on any site really, that are just not good quality. And, it's a lot goes into it, but you have to think of it as there's 2 pieces. First, there's just the quality of your listing. So if someone's looking at our search page and you'll see it, some listings are going to stand out and some aren't. Some are going to have really good titles and really great images, which I would say is the majority of our listings. We, think that our users do a really good job, but you don't want your listing to stand out for the wrong reasons. And so that is one piece of why your images and your title are really important. The other reason that they're important, specifically the title and description, is for search engines. So first of all, the more content that you add to both your profile page and your listings, the more information that Google or other search engines will have to index and then show up in search results so that we drive traffic from search engines to your listing or your profile page. So that's really important. Another thing is with the title, and we actually have an entire blog article about this that you'll see in the blog that was written this week. It's linked there. But the other thing that's really important is you don't want to make your listing title, say you have a listing on Main Street. So you don't want to make your listing title 21 Main Street, because if somebody is looking for a retail space to lease in downtown, they're not typing in the address of the hypothetical listing that they don't know about yet. So what they're really going to be typing in is retail space for lease on Main Street, or retail space for lease in downtown Greenwich, for example. I say Greenwich because we had an amazing success story when somebody changed their listing title, and immediately they had really great results on Google. And not only that, even if you don't want to change your listing title, something that I know some of our users do, including David with his listings, is you can also create because there's unlimited listings, you can create another listing with the same address and the same information and have a different title. So we're not going to stop you from adding more listings. So that's really important. And then the other thing is the description. This is also what's going to be showing up on search engines. And also we will get to our Google ads, but if you do run a Google ad through us using the Google Display Network, your title and description and your image is going to be what appears on the ad. And that is something that you really want to make sure is as good as possible before you run the ad. And we always look it over to make sure nothing gets cut off and there's no issues. But between you, us, and Google, we'll make sure that those are all set up. So we'll go into more details on that, but that is a very important point here. Social media. So as you heard, we do have lots of integrations with social media. Specifically, we focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We do have an Instagram account with QuantumListing, but we just don't have a integration with them in terms of the listings. But we do send your listings. We post all of everybody's listings on our social media platforms. So they automatically run in from our site and distribute onto our social media platforms. So every single listing gets shared on our social media platforms. So not only do we share your listings to QuantumListing social media, you can easily share your own listings to your own network on social media, which is very important because, you might have 100 people that you email when you send out a listing, but the odds are that you have at least 500, probably at this point, 1,000 at least, connections specifically on LinkedIn. And not even that, but if you use the right hashtags, your listing or your profile will show up under keyword hashtags like commercial real estate or things like that. So, LinkedIn is a huge network for commercial real estate, and such that we actually have an article titled, "What is the biggest commercial real estate network in the United States?" And everyone thinks it's going to be, some of the big names that you might expect, but the real answer is LinkedIn, because, maybe everyone doesn't use every single listing platform, but almost every business professional uses LinkedIn. So, and not only that, but people who are not actively on commercial real estate sites and who are looking for real estate, they're probably still on LinkedIn. So that is why social media is so important. One of the many reasons why it's important. The fourth tip is, we'll show you this in more depth, but basically every user gets added to a haves and wants group based on their state. And you also can join other interest groups, or you can create your own group. And from here, it's really easy to connect with other commercial real estate professionals in your market that are on Quantum Listing. And you can actually send messages in this with links to your listings, which is really, really helpful. And then if someone in my group sent out a listing, I would get a notification on Quantum Listing. I also would get an email later that day saying, hey, you have an unread message in your state haves and wants group in New York. Check out the listing that was posted by David. So that is something that we really recommend that you do, because, by the way, all of these things so far are included with membership. So there's really no reason not to. And I'll make sure that I go into details on which of these things are already included versus which of these things are part of our marketing center. And so this next piece, promoting your listing, that is part of our marketing center. So I'll show you this on the site, but basically you can, for $7.50 a month, can promote one of your listings to the top of searches in your market. You can also try it out for a week for a mere $2.50. And basically this, brings your listing to the top of searches so that you have an advantage over the other listings in your market. There's statistics about, what percentage of people go beyond page 1 of search results. And I'll tell you, I don't know the exact number, but as you go through each consecutive page, the percentage of people who go to the second page, third page, it decreases each time, as you might expect. So you really want to have your listing on the first page. And Quantum Listing, we do treat all of our listings equally unless they're promoted. So every time that a new listing gets added, it goes to the first page. And this is true from our main search page as well before you've delved into a specific location. But it's really, we think it's worth spending, a couple bucks on this for sure. The other aspects of our marketing center, in addition to the listing promotion, so we have the number 6 point here, promote company, I'm supposed to say, or personal brand. Sorry about that. And essentially what this is a small advertisement in your market. It looks similar to a listing promotion, but the only difference is that it is a graphic that shows your logo, your contact information, any relevant details about your company. Pretty generic, nothing too specific, because you don't want to have a lot of words on a piece of artwork. But when people click on the ad, it then brings them to your profile where they can see all of your listings. So this is really helpful, especially for people who maybe they have like 50 listings and they don't want to just promote one, they want to promote all of them. Why not just promote your whole brand? The Google Display Network, so that is a really great way to get leads. Our users are typically spending a minimum of $25 for an ad. You can also do $50 ads or so forth. But when you spend $25, we have seen the typical user get between 20 and 30,000 plus views. And that's in a competitive market. We've seen more than that in less competitive markets that have different costs per view. But this is something that we've really, really seen good traction with. Essentially, this is what brings you to, essentially, when you're on a website and you see an advertisement in the top of the page on the side, you can click X or you can click on the ad and it brings you to a link of some sort. So we are targeting people who are searching commercial real estate. So these are called affinity groups. So you don't have to worry that everyone viewing your ad is going to be a teenager looking at gaming sites. This is targeting people with the audience that you would expect to be looking for real estate, which is helpful, obviously. And we think that compared, I know Quantum Listing, we've run various ads using Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. We've never seen the ROI that this particular feature gets. And, our users tell us this, and they tell us this by communicating, and they also tell us this by their behavior, in the fact that when they run an ad, they typically run it again. Definitely more than 50% of our advertisers have done this more than once because they see the results that they like. So that is definitely a very, very useful tool. The email blast, we'll show you this one, but essentially you can either send an email blast using your own proprietary list. It's very easy. You just upload a spreadsheet with one column of emails. You also can choose to participate in our network, our email packages, which you do get one free email blast if you are a QuantumListing member. And then after that, there's packages. So it's like $25 if you want to get one email. If you want to do 5 emails, it's $100. So it's, 20 per email and so forth. And this uses our marketing list. So it's a good way to diversify your prospects and get exposure that you wouldn't otherwise. There's really no reason not to do that one. And then last is an iframe, which is a snippet of code that takes your listings from your QuantumListing page, and you can put it onto your own website or blog. And this is essentially, this is included with membership, by the way. So the last few have various prices. They're all very affordable, but this one is included. And if you're not already paying for a Catalyst or something like that, there's really, it's really easy because you update your listings on our site and then you don't have to go to your website because it updates in real time. And what's also nice is that we already have a feature on our site for collecting leads. So if somebody is looking at your listing on your site, they can click contact the agent and get in touch with you, and you'll get a lead on QuantumListing that would have come through your site, which is pretty cool as well. So I am going to take it to the site. I'm going to pause in case anyone has any questions. I do want to make sure that we get through everything. But if nobody has any questions, then I will go ahead. Thank you for the links you're sending, David. Appreciate that. Boy, I almost closed out of the meeting. That would not have been good. That would have been a bummer. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and if you'd like to follow along, David did put a link in the chat, but I'll put it again just in case somebody didn't see it or logged in afterwards. So if you want, you're welcome to follow along and do this while I show you. So if you go to our homepage, this is what you're going to see. Soon this might look a little different. We're making some improvements on our site. So go ahead and click join, and the link that is in the chat will bring you directly here. And you can go ahead and I'm going to make a test account just for the purposes of this webinar, but I'll also log into some existing accounts too later. And so I'm going to go ahead and type in your first name, your last name, an email address, and then you can type in your phone number if you want. That's my phone number in case anyone wants it. And then if you have a website, go ahead and do that. And then you can go ahead and type in a password. And then here is where you select your account type. And as I mentioned, if you are just looking at listings and you're not adding listings, you can go ahead and click basic. But if you are going to be adding listings, I recommend that you click individual unless you have a company with multiple agents that you want to have on the same account. Then you can click enterprise. I'm going to go ahead and click individual. It's our most popular membership type. Make sure you read and accept the terms and conditions. You can always open this in a new tab if you'd like to read through all the terms. You're more than welcome to. And then you click create your account. So once you do this, it will bring you to this page where you can either select the normal membership, which gives you the first 30 days free, and as I mentioned is $89.99 per year for unlimited listings, or you can choose white glove membership, which essentially that means that we are going to do everything for you. You don't really have to add your own listings. You'll send them to us and we'll update your listings. We will also enhance your profile and make sure that it looks as good as possible for visitors and the search engines. So when you click create order, it will bring you to PayPal and you can check out from there. So I'm going to just close out there just so that we can kind of move forward with the next pieces of the presentation. So the second kind of tip that I gave you guys for adding a listing or for getting more leads is to basically make sure that you have a good listing title, description, and images. So in order to, hold on just a second. So in order to add a listing, you will go to your profile page, and there's a sidebar menu right here, and you'll go ahead and click on listings, and then you will just simply click on this plus button here. This is where you add your images, and then you add your listing title here and your description. All of the fields with asterisks are required, and anything else is optional. If you don't want to put a price, you can leave it at 0 and it will show up as inquire, which is actually a 10th tip to get leads. We think that when you put inquire, it kind of forces a call to action and might incentivize someone to inquire and give you a call. So the only other piece that is a little, it's not tricky, but it's definitely something worth pointing out, is when you type in an address, you want to make sure that you select it from the drop-down menu. Otherwise, it won't work. So make sure you see it on the map there. And then you also want to make sure that you click publish, make sure that you have the rights to all images. And if you want to co-broke, you can check that box. And then actually, if you want to promote the listing right away, you can check this box, and you can either choose the $2.50 per week option or the $7.50 per week option. So that is how you add a listing. And as you can see from this main page, I'll just show you kind of the search page where it has all of our newest listings coming in. It's pretty easy to tell who has, good images and who doesn't. Obviously, I think this one's coming in from Build Out, and the images are not syndicating. This is clearly a very high quality image right here in Kentucky. But as you're kind of going, you'll just see the variation in quality, and we definitely just recommend that you make sure that it's up to par. iPhone photos are fine, but make sure that you have the good focus in. And I wouldn't have said to take pictures on your flip phone 10 years ago, but I think at this point, iPhone photos are very high quality, or Android or whatever smartphone you use. Again, with listing title, like, not to call this person out, we can't see their name, so we don't have to feel bad, but like 322 Market Street, nobody's going to be looking for an office for lease in Denton, Maryland, and type in 322 Market Street. They're going to be typing in office for lease in Denton, Maryland. And then what that does is it creates a long tail keyword search, which is posted in the article we wrote. And that will really, really increase your searchability, which brings you more traffic, and more traffic means more leads, which is exciting and what we want out of a listing site. So I'll show you how to share your listings to social media. It's very simple, but I want to make sure that you know how to. And by the way, anytime that you want to go back to your profile, you can just click this little Head and Shoulders button in the top right corner of your screen. And the nice thing is that we have tooltips over most of our icons. So if you're ever unsure, you can just hover over it and you'll see it says go to my profile. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I really like this listing of David's. It's a restaurant in Mohegan Lake, New York. And you haven't had too many restaurants, have you, David? So it's kind of an exciting project, I guess.
And it's really a building. It's 110 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. And right here, actually, this is kind of fun. This is a note that David has written about the listing, and you can add notes to all listings, both your own and others. So what you're going to do if you want to share to social media is you're going to click this red little circle that has the share icon, which is a classic icon on all platforms. And from here, you can share it to LinkedIn. You can share it to Facebook, Twitter. This is also where you will be sending an email blast if you choose, that we mentioned earlier. And this is actually where you can also advertise the listing. So if you were looking at another user's listings, it would only show the social media icons because it would show the email blast, but you can't do a Google ad for someone else's listing, but you can send out an email blast about another listing, and you can also share other listings to social media. So it's really easy. And we also recommend that you share your profile to your social media platforms. I think we have a video somewhere in our how it works section that shows how you can share your profile to LinkedIn in less than 60 seconds. So really you're going to be clicking, this button here and then clicking LinkedIn. And then if you're logged in, it will bring you right to a blog post or right to a LinkedIn post. Talk too much about blog posts, so that came off the tongue. The other thing you'll notice is that when you create your profile, I know I mentioned that the more content you have to add, the better. So that means having a bio, having a logo, a profile picture, and your website, and as much information as possible. And this actually includes your social media. So I can go ahead and click on David's social media here, and this will bring me to his profile. And, that's another way to get a lead, because if I go ahead and connect with David, then, now you have a new person to network with, and maybe they're not interested in your listing right now, but maybe down the line, they're going to be a good candidate for you. So definitely really recommend taking advantage of the social media aspects of our site. And as I mentioned, everything with social media is included with membership. So there's no additional charges for any of that, of course. The next piece here that we talked about earlier is our haves and wants groups. So you're going to go down to this little sub menu here and click on groups, and then you will click on my groups, and you can join any public group that you want, and you can request to join other groups as well. David is a member of every group because he is obsessed with QuantumListing because he's the founder, but you don't have to join every group. But what you can do is you can either go about this here by clicking enter group chat, or you can do it through this little chat menu here. I'm going to go ahead and click here, and I can actually go ahead and type in the link to that restaurant and send it out to my New York audience. Just give me a moment. Well, there we go. So the internet slows down a little bit when you share your screen, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this link right here to the restaurant, and then I can go ahead and I can hit send if David wants me to, or we can do it later. But when I send that, it will automatically create a hyperlink, which is really
right before that, check out the new pictures of the restaurant for sale
in Mohegan Lake.
Yep.
All right, I click send, and now all the users will get a notification about that, and they can go ahead and click on the listing. And as you can see, it's already an active link, which is great. So that is our haves and wants group. Again, this also is included with membership, so no reason not to do it. Our next piece, how you promote a listing. There's a lot of ways to do this. So definitely know that for the first way is how we already showed you, which you can check the box when you either add the listing or edit it, and it will promote the listing for you. You also can go ahead and click on the three dots at the top right corner of a listing card, and you can go ahead and click promote this listing. And it will bring you to this page where you select your plan, whether you want the 1 month option or the 1 week option. And once you have selected the listing and created your order, it will again bring you to PayPal, which we're gonna skip, and I will just confirm this and then get out of there. So now when I search up here, if I was to search Pleasantville, which is the city where that listing was in, if everything went according to plan, it should bring us to the listing page for Pleasantville, New York, where David's listing, which I just promoted, is indicated in the top left corner with a green box showing that it is a promoted listing. This is, again, just such an easy way to do this. By the way, if you are searching for properties, or even if you're looking for leads, you can look at these little wanted things that basically all users, regardless of basic membership or premium membership, can post a want saying that they are looking for something. And say you have 50 acres of land and David's looking for 50 acres of land. Well, why not call David, and there's a lead just sitting in your inbox for you. So definitely recommend checking that out. You can search for wants by using our search filter functionality, and under trade type, instead of selecting sale or lease, you can select wants. So definitely recommend trying that out as well. So I want to show you guys a brand promotion, because that was one of our other tips on how to use QuantumListing to get more leads. I'll show you how to use the search filter just so that you can see the wants. So you go ahead and click search filter, you click wants under trade type, and you could also narrow this down by like a city or a state, but it's a relatively new feature. So all of these are wanted cards that you can then get in touch with the agent. So what's cool is that just like someone can leave a lead on your listing by clicking this contact the agent button, you can do the same thing with a wanted ad. And also all of our listings, I didn't mention already, after about 10 to 15 seconds of being on the site or on the page, a pop-up will appear that looks just like this pop-up, and it will say, do you want more information? And then that was the pop-up right there. And then you can fill out this piece of information and click add request. The other thing that's important to note is I already mentioned the fact that our listing site has no registration wall and no paywall. So I could actually be not logged into the site, and I could go ahead and see that Kevin is looking for to lease an industrial space in Oakland, California. And I could just go ahead and give Kevin a call. What I would advise you to do with these types of situations is when you receive a call from someone saying, hey, I saw your listing online, if you can remember to ask them, where did you see it? Because they might say QuantumListing, they might say another site, but it's important for you to be able to track where your lead sources are. And we want people to leave the lead on this button, but we also, like I said, we want the process to be as quick as possible. So if someone wants to come onto the site and give you a call, we want to make sure that you can get that deal closed. So we're not going to stop them from calling you by creating a barrier to entry. So that's just an important thing that I think is worth noting. So next on our list after the listing promotion, which I got a little sidetracked, is brand promotion. And so I'm just going to show you what a brand promotion ad looks like. And then we can talk offline if someone's interested in doing this. So basically, just like listing promotion, it brings you to the top of searches in your market. This is when I search the Illinois page, Jonathan Zimmerman, he's with In Commercial. He has this ad. This is really simple, but it works. You know, it's a nice logo, very good quality, and you see it, and you know, you click on it, and then it will bring you to his listings, and then you can get in touch with him. You'll see his email, his phone number. Definitely a very easy way to attract more leads. So if you wanted to do this on your own, you could do this from our marketing center by clicking back on your profile, and then clicking this little button here. You can hover over it. You see it says Marketing Center. And this is where you can promote your listing. You can also promote your brand from here. It's also where you would start a Google ad and send an email blast.
Just interrupt quickly.
Yeah.
You notice on Jonathan's page, he's created a separate listing for each space in the building. And
yeah.
because you have unlimited listings, if you were doing this on LoopNet, it would cost you a fortune to do this. But since you get to do it unlimited listings on QuantumListing, it makes it, there's a couple of advantages. One, you can include the pictures and video of that and floor plan of that specific space. And two, you have many more bites at the apple in a Google search or by a prospect. So if they're looking for an office in Chicago, you've got multiple listings instead of just one for the whole building. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that kind of goes back to like what I was saying about with your listing title, like you can put in the street address or you could put in something more specific, but you don't need to edit the listing title. You can just create a new one. And, I think it is useful. Like people do search addresses. So I do think it's useful to, if you have the ability to have multiple listings with the same building. So definitely recommend that as well. Thank you, David. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to, online advertisement, I really think it's something that if you're interested in it, you should talk to us about it. It's really, really effective. I mean, our statistics on it have just been staggering, honestly. And we had someone run an ad, and within 2 days, they got a phone call from a broker really far away from them that they normally wouldn't have been able to reach. And the only way that they would have gotten in contact with them was through the ad. And then they had a showing the next day. And this was a marketing professional who she says that even though she's, a marketing person, she doesn't like using Google ads. And she found the integration so easy because all you have to do is pick the listing in your market and we do everything else for you. And for the amount that you're spending, it's definitely worth at least trying once. So definitely talk to us if you're interested in that. The next piece here is the email blast. And I know I mentioned earlier, similar to how you would share a listing to LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, you also can click that share button on a listing, the red circle, and go ahead and send an email blast. By the way, you also can send an email blast of your entire profile. So if there's not like one specific listing that you're trying to highlight, and instead there's, a whole bunch, you can just share it from your profile. But I'll show you how to send an email blast for one listing. So you're going to go ahead and click this button here. And then you will click the little email button, and you could type in, you could type in each individual email address, or you could also upload a spreadsheet. And so this is super, super easy. If you guys want to, I'll send out an email blast using your emails. I don't want to, for privacy reasons, I don't want to type people's email addresses in right now, but it's very, very simple. I mean, I'll send one to David right now. If you wanted to just send out, a couple people, you can separate their emails by a comma. And basically, I mean, I really mean this, like this is what it will look like, by the way. This is like a little grayed out, but it will be like the first image that you use is important because that's what shows up, and the title also shows up. And then it will have, your basic contact info, the address, and then, what kind of listing it is, and the price and square feet. And then the main point of this is we want to drive website traffic. So really we want people to click anywhere on the listing, to click view listing, and then it will bring them to the listing, and they can then contact you by leaving a lead form or calling you or emailing you. But there's no delay at all. So even when you send out a mass email with like a couple hundred people on a spreadsheet, when I click send, like David, if you want to check your email, like he probably already got it, like just now. It's as fast as sending an email from like your Gmail account or your Outlook. So it's really effective and really, really useful. A lot of people, they pay for a MailChimp or a Constant Contact, which is fine. We have a CRM also, but if you are a smaller company, or if you just want to try this and you don't want to pay for those services, it's really, really effective and easy to use.
And yes, I did get the email.
So, David, did you get the email?
Yes, I did. I got that email. Oh, am I?
I might have lost him. Maybe.
I can.
Oh, can't hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
All right. Well, we'll move on. The last number 9. So we had 9 tools. Oh, David, we can't really hear you.
Hi. I did get the email. If you can hear me now.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna
muted
a second. Not often that I mute him. So the last piece here that we wanted to talk about was iframe. So the way to use an iframe, you can either do it from your profile or a specific listing. And basically, you'll look for this little code here that has the 2 carrots like facing each other. And he just texted me that he got the email. I appreciate the effort there. So basically, you'll see these carrots, and if you hover over it, the little text will tell you that it's copy iframe. So you click on this, and it brings you this code. You don't need to worry what this means, but you'll basically take this and copy it, and you'll put it into your website on the back end. I'll show you what this looks like from the perspective of a website. So David uses this, and he has his entire profile on the site, but he doesn't have to update it twice. So you can actually search from here. So say you just wanted to search for retail, you can see all of his retail listings. If you're interested in the listing, you can go ahead and click on it, and then you can leave a lead if you wanted to, but it's really, really simple, and we definitely recommend it there. So if you have any questions, I know sometimes people have questions about the code, don't hesitate to ask us. The other thing is actually, this wasn't one of the pieces originally planned, but you can actually create a listing report by adding a listing to the report, and it will automatically create a PDF, which you can share via email. You can also share it a variety of ways, but you can share it as an iframe, or you can make it a PDF. And this is another thing that if you wanted to send out an email with a bunch of your listings, like maybe new listings this week or highlighted listings this week, you can email it right from here. It automatically has the images, title, relevant information, as well as a map. And then you can either click email, or you can download it or create an iframe. And that's something that, is really, again, included with membership. So no reason not to do it and take advantage of this tool. So I'm going to stop here and see if anyone has any questions. This is the PDF, and it actually creates
unmuted.
So they can go from the PDF and click on your listing and go ahead and check it out. So if anybody has any questions, I'll check the chat real quickly. And I will pause here. We really appreciate your time. We actually have a code for you to use if you would like to take advantage of any of the features that we talked about today. You're more than welcome to, with a 20% off discount. I'll make sure this is included in the follow-up email as well. So don't worry about jotting it down if you forget to. This is our pricing in case anyone's forgotten or needs it. Obviously, this is the membership. Listing promotion I talked about. The brand promotion is $50 for 1 month, $125 for 3 months, or $400 for a year. We also have a bundled marketing package that basically includes listing promotion, online advertisement, and an email blast for a discounted rate. The Google ads, which I mentioned, they start at $25 a listing. And then the network email blast, which I mentioned earlier, the first one is free. And after that, it's $25 for 1 and $100 for 5, $200 for 12. By the way, the email functionality where you send a blast is included with membership. So that's a tool that's included for you. So that is the pricing. And this is our contact information. You can always go to our help section, the how it works section. There's a green button at the top right corner of every page that has a schedule a demo button. And you can go ahead and schedule time to talk with us. You also can send a message in the bottom right-hand corner using the intercom button. And that will get our tech team, our support team alerted right away. You can always email our support email, which is support@quantumlisting.com. You can also email me, Julia at quantumlisting.com, or David at quantumlisting.com. And you can call our number 844-QL1-LIST as well. And we also hope to see you back here on one of our webinars or check out our blog posts. So thank you for your time and for being here today and showing up and participating. We very much appreciate that. We know how important and valuable your time is, and so we hope we made the most of it, and we really are grateful for your participation. So I don't know if David's still with us to stop the recording, so if he's not, that's okay. I'm gonna stay on for a few minutes just in case anyone has any questions, but in the meantime, have a great rest of your day and a great Friday and then a terrific weekend.